The fluorescent lights in County General's ER buzz overhead like dying insects. I've been on my feet for 11 hours straight, and my shift doesn't end for another 2. My scrubs stick to my back with sweat. My shoes squeak against linoleum floors slick with something I don't want to identify. And the coffee I drank 4 hours ago has left me jittery and exhausted at the same time. This is my life. This is what 26 years of bad choices and worse luck looks like. I'm checking vitals on a drunk driver in Bay 7 when I hear it. A commotion near the main entrance. Raised voices. The kind that makes every nurse look up because we know what follows. Either violence or death. Sometimes both. "Make way," someone shouts. She's not breathing. I abandon the drunk driver. He'll live. That's more than I can say for whoever's coming through those doors. The woman on the gurney looks like someone's grandmother. 70, maybe older. Silver hair plastered to her skull. Expensive clothes, ruined by rain. Her lips are blue. If you're enjoying this story so far, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Drop a comment telling me where in the world you're watching from. I love hearing from you. Not the kind of blue that means she's cold. The kind that means oxygen isn't reaching her blood. Found her collapsed outside the Metropolitan Opera. The paramedic says, breathless. Witnessed cardiac arrest. We've been doing CPR for 8 minutes. No response to defib. 2 rounds of epi. Nothing. Doctor. Harrison appears at my elbow. He's young, competent, and completely overwhelmed by the Friday night chaos. Get her on the monitors. He orders. Full cardiac panel. Prep for intubation. I move automatically. IV line. Oxygen. Electrodes. My hands know what to do even when my brain is screaming that this woman is already gone. Asystole, the monitor announces in its flat, merciless tone. Doctor. Harrison swears under his breath. How long has she been down? 12 minutes, the paramedic says. Too long. Everyone in this room knows it. After 10 minutes without oxygen, the brain starts to die. At 12 minutes, even if we get her back, she won't be the same person. Continue compressions, doctor, Harrison says, but his voice lacks conviction. Another round of epi, and someone call it if we don't get anything in the next 2 minutes. I take over compressions from the paramedic. My arms burn immediately. Proper CPR is exhausting. You're supposed to push hard enough to crack ribs, hard enough to manually force blood through a heart that's given up. 1, 2, 3, 4. I count in my head. 30 compressions, 2 breaths, 30 more compressions. Sweat drips into my eyes. My shoulders scream. But I don't stop. Mia, doctor. Harrison says quietly. We've been at this for 15 minutes. She's someone's mother. I hear myself say. Someone's grandmother. She's gone. 1 more round. I don't look at him. Just keep pushing. Keep forcing her heart to beat even though it doesn't want to. Please. Dr. Harrison hesitates. Then he nods. 1 more. Then we call it. The next 30 compressions feel like moving through concrete. My arms shake. My vision blurs. But somewhere around compression 23, the monitor beeps. Not a flat line. A blip. Wait, I gasp. Wait, I got something. Everyone freezes. We stare at the monitor like it's performing a miracle. Another blip. Then another. Irregular, weak, but there. She's back, doctor. Harrison breathes. Get her stabilized. I want a full workup, and someone find out who she is. She's got to have family somewhere. The woman's eyes flutter open briefly. Unfocused, confused, but alive. I step back from the gurney, my legs suddenly weak. My hands won't stop shaking. Good work, Rodriguez, Dr. Harrison says. Then he's gone, moving to the next crisis. I stand there for a moment, watching the monitors, watching proof that this woman is breathing again, that her heart is beating, that I just fought death and won. It's 3 a.m. by the time we get her stabilized enough to move to ICU. I'm charting her vitals when someone appears beside me at the nurse's station. You're the one who saved her. I look up. The man standing there doesn't belong in this hospital. His suit probably costs more than I make in 6 months. Everything about him screams money and power. Dark hair graying at the temples, sharp features, eyes that miss nothing. Behind him, 3 other men in expensive suits. They don't look like family. They look like security. I'm sorry, I say carefully. Are you related to the patient? She's my mother. His voice is controlled, but I hear the emotion underneath. Isabella Constantine. I'm Nikolai. The name means nothing to me. Should it? Your mother is stable, I tell him. She's in ICU. The doctor can give you more details, but she's breathing on her own. Her heart rhythm is still irregular, but you did CPR for 17 minutes. It's not a question. I nod anyway. The paramedics wanted to stop at 10. The doctor wanted to stop at 15. Nikolai's dark eyes hold mine. But you didn't. She deserved the chance. Most people would have given up. I don't know what to say to that, so I just shrug. Most people haven't seen what I've seen. Every life matters, even when it seems hopeless. Something shifts in his expression. He reaches into his jacket and I tense, remembering the men behind him, the expensive suit, the air of danger that clings to him like cologne. But he only pulls out a card. Heavy paper stock, embossed lettering, a phone number, nothing else. If you need anything, he says, anything at all, call this number. That's not necessary. It is to me. He presses the card into my palm. His fingers are warm, his grip firm. You saved the most important person in my life. That means you're under my protection now, whether you want it or not. Before I can process that strange statement, he's gone. The men in suits follow, and I'm left holding a card that feels heavier than it should. I should throw it away, should forget this ever happened, should recognize the warning signs that this man is dangerous. Instead, I tuck the card into my pocket. My shift ends at 7. I clock out, change into jeans and a sweater, and step out into the gray morning light. The city is just waking up. Street vendors setting up carts, delivery trucks rumbling past, homeless people stirring in doorways. I live 40 minutes away by subway. 40 minutes where I can decompress, let the weight of the night shift slide off my shoulders before I collapse into bed. I'm halfway to the station when I notice the car, black, expensive, following me at a crawl. My heart rate kicks up. I walk faster. The car matches my pace. I'm about to run when the back window rolls down. Miss Rodriguez, Nikolai's voice. Get in. I'm fine walking. You're exhausted. You worked 11 hours, saved my mother's life, and now you're walking through one of the most dangerous neighborhoods in the city alone at 7 in the morning. He opens the door from inside. Get in. I'll drive you home. I don't need. Please. That one word, soft and genuine, stops my protest. I glance around. The street is empty. No witnesses if this goes wrong. But something in his face makes me trust him. I get in the car. The interior smells like leather and expensive cologne. Nikolai sits across from me, his expression unreadable in the dim light. Where do you live? I give him the address. He relays it to the driver in a language I don't recognize. Russian, maybe. You don't have to do this, I say. Really? I'm used to the commute. How often do you work nights? 4 times a week. And you take the subway alone every time. It's fine. Nothing's ever happened. Yet. His jaw tightens. Nothing's happened yet. We drive in silence for a while. I watch the city pass by through tinted windows, watch my neighborhood change from dangerous to merely rundown. Can I ask you something? Nikolai says finally. Sure. Why didn't you give up on my mother? I think about how to answer that. How to explain. Something I don't fully understand myself. I lost my parents when I was 19, I say quietly. Car accident. 1 minute they were here, the next they were gone. And I remember thinking, if someone had just tried harder, if the paramedics had done one more round of CPR, if the doctors hadn't given up so fast. I look at him. Your mother had someone who loved her waiting somewhere. I couldn't give up while there was still a chance. Nikolai is quiet for a long moment. When he speaks, his voice is rough. I'm sorry about your parents. Me too. The car pulls up outside my building. It's not much. Peeling paint, graffiti on the walls, but it's home. Thank you for the ride, I say, reaching for the door handle. Mia. He stops me with a hand on my arm, gentle but firm. The card I gave you. I meant what I said. If you need anything, if anyone gives you trouble, if you're ever scared or in danger, call that number. Why? I search his face. Why do you care? Because you gave me my mother back. His dark eyes hold mine. And in my world, that debt can never be repaid. But I'll spend the rest of my life trying. I should be frightened, should recognize the danger in those words. But instead, I feel something else. Something warm and safe, and completely unexpected. Okay, I whisper. Okay. I get out of the car and walk to my building. When I turn to look back, the car is still there. Watching. Making sure I get inside safely. I climb the 4 flights of stairs to my apartment, unlock the 3 deadbolts, step into the tiny studio that holds everything I own, and pull out the card. Heavy paper, 1 phone number, no name, no context. I should throw it away. Instead, I put it in my wallet, right next to the faded photo of my parents, just in case. I sleep until noon, wake up groggy and disoriented, check my phone and find 6 missed calls from the hospital. My stomach drops. Did something happen to Isabella? I call back immediately. Mia, the charge nurse, sounds relieved. Thank God. Are you sitting down? What happened? Is the patient? She's fine. Better than fine. She's awake and asking for you. Asking for me? By name. Says she won't talk to anyone else until she thanks the nurse who saved her life. I glance at the clock. My next shift doesn't start until 11 tonight. I can come in around 2. Perfect. And Mia? There's something else. Someone made a donation to the hospital. Anonymous. $2 million. Specifically designated for the emergency department. My breath catches. $2 million. They left a note, the charge nurse continues. Said it was in honor of the nurses who never give up, who see every life as worth saving. I close my eyes, knowing exactly who made that donation. I'll be there at 2, I manage. When I arrive at the hospital, I'm directed to Isabella's private room, not the ICU. A private suite that looks more like a hotel than a hospital room. 2 men in suits stand outside the door. They nod to me as I approach. Inside, Isabella sits propped up in bed. She looks fragile but alert. Nikolai sits in a chair beside her, holding her hand. There she is, Isabella says, her voice raspy but warm. My angel. I'm just a nurse, I say, moving to check her vitals. How are you feeling? Alive, thanks to you. I record her blood pressure, pulse, oxygen levels. Everything looks good. Better than good, considering she was dead 12 hours ago. The doctors say I'll make a full recovery, Isabella continues. They say it's a miracle, but I know better. It's not a miracle. It's you. Refusing to let me go. Anyone would have done the same. No. Nikolai's voice is firm. They wouldn't have. We checked the hospital records. You stayed 20 minutes past the point where protocol says to stop. 20 minutes where you kept my mother's heart beating through sheer force of will. I don't know what to say to that. Isabella reaches out, taking my hand. Her grip is surprisingly too strong. Mia Rodriguez. I don't know what your beliefs are, but I believe you were put in that emergency room last night for a reason. To save me. And now I need to return the favor. You don't owe me anything. I owe you everything. Isabella's eyes gleam with determination, and so does my son. So, we're going to take care of you now. Whether you like it or not. That phrase again. Whether you like it or not. I don't understand. Nikolai stands, crossing to where I'm frozen beside his mother's bed. How much do you make at this hospital? That's not appropriate. 40,000 a year, he says. Plus night differential. You work 50 to 60 hours a week. You're 3 months behind on rent. Your student loans are crushing you. And you eat 1 meal a day because that's all you can afford. My face burns. How do you... I make it my business to know everything about people who matter to me. His voice softens. And you matter, Mia. More than you realize. I don't need charity. This isn't charity. Isabella squeezes my hand. This is family. Taking care of family. And your family now. I look between them. This elegant woman in her hospital bed. This dangerous, intense man who somehow sees into my soul. I don't understand what's happening, I whisper. You saved my life, Isabella says simply. In my family, that creates a bond, an obligation. You're under our protection now. Part of our household. I can't. You can. Nikolai moves closer. Close enough that I can smell his cologne. See the flecks of gold in his dark eyes. And you will. Because refusing our protection would insult my mother. And I don't think you want to do that. He's right. Looking at Isabella's hopeful face. I can't bring myself to refuse. What exactly are you asking? Work for us, Isabella says. Be my private nurse. Live in the guest house on our estate. Let us pay you what you're actually worth. Let us give you the security and safety you deserve. I'm just a nurse. I'm not qualified to... You're the nurse who brought me back from the dead, Isabella interrupts. You're more than qualified. I should say no. Should recognize that accepting this offer means stepping into a world I don't understand. A world where men in suits stand outside hospital rooms and $2 million donations appear overnight. But I'm so tired. Tired of struggling. Tired of being afraid. Tired of working myself to death for barely enough to survive. Can I think about it? I hear myself ask. Take all the time you need, Nikolai says. But his eyes say something different. They say he already knows my answer. They say I was his from the moment I refused to let his mother die. And looking into those dark, intense eyes, I realize he might be right. I don't go home after leaving the hospital. Instead, I walk. Miles through the city, trying to clear my head, trying to make sense of what just happened. A job offer, a place to live, security, everything I've been desperate for since my parents died and left me with nothing but debt and grief. But there's something about Nikolai Konstantin that sets off warning bells. The way people move around him, the expensive suits, the casual mention of protection like it's something I need. I pull out my phone and search his name. The results make my blood run cold. Nikolai Konstantin, real estate developer, philanthropist, and according to 3 different investigative articles, suspected head of one of the city's most powerful organized crime families, the Konstantin Bratva, Russian Mafia. I sit down hard on a park bench, my legs suddenly weak. Of course. The suits, the security, the way he talked about protection, the $2 million donation that appeared overnight. I saved a mob boss's mother. My phone rings. Unknown number. I almost don't answer. Mia, Nikolai's voice. I know you're researching me right now. I know what you're finding. And I know you're scared. How did you? I have people watching you, making sure you're safe. He pauses. I'm not going to lie to you about who I am, about what my family does, but I need you to understand something. My mother is the only good thing in my life, the only pure thing, and you gave her back to me. That makes you untouchable. Sacred. I don't want to be involved in. You're already involved. Whether you take the job or not, you're under my protection now. Marone knows about you. So does Salvatore. Every rival family in this city knows that you're the woman who saved Isabella Konstantin's life. You think they won't try to use that? My chest tightens. What are you saying? I'm saying you're safer inside my world than outside it. At least inside, I can control who gets near you. His voice drops. Please, Mia, let me keep you safe. Let me give you the life you deserve. You don't have to be afraid anymore. I close my eyes, remembering the cramped studio apartment, the 3 deadbolts, the subway rides at 7 in the morning through dangerous neighborhoods, the constant fear that I'm one missed paycheck away from homelessness. If I say yes, I whisper, what exactly am I agreeing to? To be my mother's private nurse, to live on the estate where I can protect you, to let me make sure you never have to be afraid or hungry or exhausted again. He pauses. And to trust that I will never ask you to do anything that compromises who you are. Your integrity is what makes you valuable to me. I need to see it first. The estate, where I'd be living. I'll send a car in 30 minutes. Tell me where you are. I give him the address of the park. Hang up. Sit there trying to understand how my life just changed so completely in 24 hours. The car arrives exactly 30 minutes later. Same driver. Same expensive interior. But this time, Nikolai isn't inside. Mr. Konstantin thought you'd be more comfortable without him, the driver says in heavily accented English. He waits at the estate. The drive takes 40 minutes. We leave the city behind, enter suburbs that gradually become estates. Gated communities where each property spans acres. Finally, we turn through iron gates with an ornate K worked into the design. The house at the end of the long driveway isn't a house. It's a mansion. 3 stories of stone and glass, manicured gardens, a fountain in the circular drive. I've never seen anything like it outside of movies. Nikolai waits at the entrance. He's changed from the suit into dark slacks and a fitted black shirt. Somehow he looks even more dangerous this way, less polished, more real. Welcome, he says simply. He gives me a tour. The main house with its marble floors and crystal chandeliers, the library with walls of books, the kitchen that's bigger than my entire apartment, the formal dining room, the living spaces, then outside to the guest house. This would be yours, Nikolai says, unlocking the door. I step inside and my breath catches. It's beautiful. Hardwood, floors, a full kitchen, a bedroom with a bed that looks like heaven, a bathroom with a tub I could swim in, large windows overlooking the gardens. There's a medical suite connected, Nikolai continues, opening another door. Everything you'd need to care for my mother. Monitoring equipment, emergency supplies. If you're hooked on this story, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Your support means everything and helps me bring you more emotional stories like this one. I've had specialists consult on the setup. I walk through the rooms in a daze. This is more than I ever dreamed of having. The salary is $200,000 a year, Nikolai says, plus full benefits, health insurance, dental, a car, use of the estate facilities, all meals provided. $200,000. That's 5 times what I make now. This is insane. This is what you're worth. He moves closer. My mother needs someone with your skills, your instincts, your refusal to give up even when everything seems hopeless. That's not something money can buy, but it is something I can properly compensate. I don't understand why you're doing this. Because 18 hours ago, I thought I'd lost my mother. His voice roughens. I was driving to the hospital to say goodbye, to watch them turn off the machines, and then I got a call saying some stubborn nurse refused to let her die, that this nurse did CPR until her arms gave out, that this nurse fought death and won. He steps closer. You gave me more time with the only person in this world I love. How do I repay that? How do I say thank you for giving me my mother back? Tears prick my eyes. You don't have to. I do. He reaches out slowly, giving me time to step back. When I don't, his hand cups my face. Gentle. Reverent. You're remarkable, Mia Rodriguez. And I'm going to spend every day proving to you that you made the right choice trusting me. I haven't said yes yet. His smile is small, sad. I know. But you will. Because you're exhausted and scared and alone. And I'm offering you a place where you don't have to be any of those things anymore. He's right. I hate that he's right. 1 month. Trial. I hear myself say. If it doesn't work out, I can leave. No questions asked. Agreed. And I want it in writing. A real contract. With an exit clause. My lawyers will have it ready tomorrow. His thumb strokes my cheekbone. Anything else? Your mother's medical needs come first. Always. I won't compromise her care for anything. I wouldn't expect you to. I take a deep breath. Then yes. I'll do it. Something fierce and possessive flashes in his dark eyes. You won't regret this. I better not. He pulls me into an embrace that should feel presumptuous but instead feels safe. His arms wrap around me. His chin rests on top of my head. And for the first time in 7 years, since my parents died and left me completely alone, I feel like someone's got me. Welcome home, Mia. Nikolai whispers against my hair. Welcome to the family. I move in 3 days later. Everything I own fits into 4 boxes and 2 suitcases. It's embarrassing how little I have to show for. 26 years of life. Nikolai sends people to pack for me. Professional movers who handle my threadbare towels and thrift store dishes like they're precious. Who load everything into a truck and transport it to the estate while I work my last shift at County General. My supervisor cries when I give notice. We're losing our best nurse. You're getting a $2 million donation. I counter. Hire 3 nurses with my salary. It won't be the same. Maybe not. But I can't stay. Not when there's a better life waiting. My last patient is a homeless man with pneumonia. He doesn't have insurance. Won't be able to pay the bill. Will probably be on the street again as soon as he's discharged. Before I leave, I slip $300 into his belongings. It's most of my last paycheck, but he needs it more than I do now. The car picks me up at 7 in the morning. Same driver. Same quiet efficiency. When we arrive at the estate, Isabella is waiting on the front steps. She's wearing a silk robe and leaning on a cane, but her smile is radiant. You came, she says as I approach. I was afraid you'd change your mind. I don't break my promises. I know. That's why we wanted you. She links her arm through mine. Come, let me show you your home. The next 2 weeks are a blur of settling in, learning the estate's rhythms, meeting the staff, cook, housekeeper, gardeners, security, all of them polite, professional, and clearly curious about the new nurse. Isabella's care is straightforward. Medications 3 times a day, regular monitoring of her heart function, gentle exercise, a strict diet, nothing I can't handle. But I'm not just her nurse, I'm her companion. We have breakfast together every morning on the terrace. We read in the library during the afternoons. We watch old movies in the evenings. She tells me stories about Nikolai as a boy, about her late husband, about the life she left behind in Russia. Were you afraid? I ask one afternoon. Coming. To America? Starting over? Terrified, Isabella admits. I was 19. Didn't speak English. Pregnant with Nikolai. My husband had enemies everywhere. But fear is just another way of saying you have something worth protecting. She pats my hand. You understand that. I see it in your eyes. You're afraid of my son. Of this life. But you're here anyway because you're brave. I'm not brave. I'm desperate. Brave people are always desperate first. That's what gives them courage. Nikolai is rarely home during the day. He leaves early, returns late. But when he is around, his attention is completely focused. On his mother. On me. On making sure we have everything we need. He asks about Isabella's health constantly. Reads every medical report I write. Questions medication changes. Worries when she seems tired. She's doing well, I assure him for the 10th time. Her heart function is improving. She's getting stronger every day. Because of you. Because of good medical care and rest. Because of you, he repeats firmly, then softer. Thank you for taking care of her. It's my job. It's more than that. His dark eyes hold mine. You care about her. Not because we're paying you, but because that's who you are. Someone who sees people as worth saving. I don't know what to say to that, so I just nod and retreat to check Isabella's vitals again. But I feel his eyes on me, always watching, always aware. It should make me uncomfortable. Instead, it makes me feel safe. 3 weeks into my new life, I'm reading to Isabella in the garden when a car I don't recognize pulls up to the main house. The security team goes on immediate alert. Hands moving to weapons I try not to think about. A man gets out, mid-50s, expensive suit, cold eyes. Who is that? I ask. Isabella's face goes carefully blank. Viktor Sokolov, one of Nikolai's business associates. But the way she says it makes it clear he's more than that. He's dangerous. Perhaps we should go inside, Isabella suggests. But it's too late. Viktor has spotted us. He approaches with a smile that doesn't reach his eyes. Isabella. He kisses her hand with exaggerated courtesy. You look well. Much better than when I heard you died. I'm harder to kill than people think. His laugh is sharp. Indeed. Then his eyes land on me. And who is this? Mia Rodriguez, my private nurse. Ah, something calculating enters his expression. The angel who brought you back from the dead. I've heard about you. The way he says it makes my skin crawl. I should take Mrs. Constantine inside, I say, standing. It's time for her medication. Of course. Viktor steps back. But his eyes follow me, assessing, measuring. I help Isabella inside quickly. Once we're in the safety of the house, she grips my arm. Listen to me carefully, she says urgently. Viktor Sokolov is not a good man. If you ever see him when Nikolai isn't here, you go directly to security. You don't speak to him. You don't let him near you. Do you understand? Why? What does he want? Power. Control. Isabella's eyes are fierce, and he'll use anyone he can to get it, including you. That night, Nikolai returns home late. I'm still awake, too unsettled by Viktor's visit to sleep. I find Nikolai in his office, tie loosened, exhaustion etched into his face. Viktor Sokolov was here today, I say from the doorway. Nikolai's head snaps up. What? He came to see your mother. Or to see me. I'm not sure which. Nikolai is across the room in 3 strides. His hands grip my shoulders. Not hard, but firm enough that I feel his urgency. What did he say to you? Nothing really, just introduced himself. But your mother was scared. She told me to never be alone with him. Nikolai's jaw clenches. She's right. Viktor is. He stops, takes a breath. He's ambitious and dangerous. He sees you as a potential weakness in my organization. Why? I'm just a nurse. You're not just anything. His hands slide down my arms. You're the woman who saved my mother, the woman living in my guest house. The woman I... He stops, shakes his head. Viktor knows I care about you. That makes you valuable to him. A potential hostage, a way to manipulate me. Fear coils in my stomach. Maybe I should leave. If my being here puts you in danger. No, the word is sharp, final. You're not going anywhere. I just need to make it clear that you're completely off limits. How? Nikolai looks at me for a long moment, something dangerous and possessive in his dark eyes. By making it official, he says quietly, by making sure everyone in my world knows that you're not just my mother's nurse. You're mine. My heart pounds. What does that mean? It means I need to claim you publicly. Make it clear that touching you means war with the Constantine family. He steps closer. Are you willing to trust me? To let me protect you the only way I know how? You're scaring me. I know. I'm sorry. His hand cups my face. But I need you to understand something. In my world, there are rules. And the most important rule is this. You don't touch what belongs to a vor. You don't threaten his family. You don't use his people as weapons. I don't belong to you, don't you? His thumb traces my lower lip. You've been mine since the moment you refused to let my mother die. Since you fought death itself because you believed she was worth saving. Since you looked at me with those defiant eyes and saw a man instead of a monster. Nikolai, tell me you don't feel it. He whispers. Tell me you don't think about me. That you don't watch for me to come home. That your heart doesn't race when I walk into a room. I can't. Because it's all true. This is crazy. I breathe. We barely know each other. I know you're brave. I know you're kind. I know you see the best in people even when they don't deserve it. I know you eat strawberries for breakfast and read mystery novels before bed. I know you hum when you think no one's listening. I know you cry when my mother tells you stories about her childhood. I know. His voice breaks. I know you're the first thing I think about when I wake up and the last thing I see before I sleep. Tears stream down my face. You can't say things like that. Why not? Because I'm already falling for you, and that terrifies me. Nikolai makes a sound that's half laugh, half sob. He pulls me against him. His arms wrap around me like he's afraid I'll disappear. Fall, he whispers against my hair. I'll catch you, I promise. We stand there in his office, while the clock ticks past midnight, while security makes their rounds outside, while the rest of the house sleeps. And I let myself believe, just for a moment, that this impossible thing might actually work, that the nurse and the mob boss might actually have a chance. The announcement comes 3 days later at a family dinner I didn't know was happening. Isabella insists I join them at the formal dining table. You're part of this household, she says when I try to decline. You belong here. I wear the nicest dress, I own a simple black sheath that cost me $50 2 years ago. It feels inadequate compared to Isabella's elegant silk gown, compared to the crystal chandeliers and the table that seats 20. Nikolai arrives exactly at 7. He's wearing a dark suit, his hair perfectly styled, every inch the powerful businessman, but his eyes find mine immediately, warm, possessive. You look beautiful, he murmurs as he passes my chair. The other guests arrive in a steady stream, men in expensive suits with hard eyes, women dripping jewelry, all of them radiating power and danger. Viktor Sokolov is among them. His cold gaze lands on me and stays there. Calculating. I focus on my plate, on breathing, on not showing how terrified I am. Halfway through dinner, Nikolai stands. He taps his wine glass with a knife. The crystal chime cuts through conversations. Thank you all for coming, he says. His voice carries authority. Command. I have an announcement to make. The room falls silent. 3 weeks ago, my mother suffered cardiac arrest. Nikolai's hand rests on Isabella's shoulder. She was clinically dead for 17 minutes. The doctors had given up. But one nurse refused to stop fighting. One woman brought my mother back to life through sheer determination and courage. His eyes find mine across the table. That woman is Mia Rodriguez. And as of tonight, she is under the full protection of the Constantine family. Murmurs ripple through the guests. Furthermore, Nikolai continues, his voice growing harder, I want it understood by everyone in this room and everyone in this city that Mia is not just my mother's nurse. She is mine, my woman, my future. Anyone who threatens her, anyone who even looks at her wrong, answers to me personally. The room erupts, voices overlapping, questions shouted. Victor's face goes carefully blank. I can't breathe, can't think. He just claimed me in front of what is clearly the most powerful people in the Russian Mafia. Nikolai moves around the table, extends his hand to me. Mia. I take it on autopilot. Let him pull me to standing. Let him wrap his arm around my waist possessively. You had no right, I whisper. I had every right. His voice is low. Only for me. This is the only way to keep you safe. Isabella rises as well, moving to my other side. She takes my free hand. Welcome to the family, dear. Officially. The rest of the dinner passes in a blur. People congratulate us. Women kiss my cheeks. Men shake Nikolai's hand with knowing smiles. Victor disappears early, his departure noted by the security team's visible relief. When the last guest finally leaves, I round on Nikolai. You can't just claim someone like that, like I'm property. In my world, I can. And I did. He's unapologetic. Victor was already planning something. I could see it in his eyes. The only way to stop him was to make it clear that touching you means all-out war. So you used me, made me a pawn in your power games. I protected you. His voice rises to match mine. There's a difference. Is there? We stare at each other, fury and frustration and something else crackling between us. Isabella clears her throat. Perhaps you two should discuss this in private. There's nothing to discuss, I say. I'm going to bed. I storm out, make it to the guest house, slam the door behind me. Then I sink onto the couch and let myself cry. I've been so stupid, so naive. Thinking Nikolai actually cared about me as a person. Thinking this was anything more than him protecting his assets. A knock at the door makes me jump. Go away, I call. No. Nikolai's voice. Firm. We're going to talk about this. I said go away. The door opens anyway. Of course it does. It's his property. Nikolai steps inside, closes the door behind him, leans against it like he's prepared to stay all night. I'm sorry, he says. I should be. But I'm not sorry for protecting you. I'm sorry for not preparing you first, for not explaining what I was going to do. He moves closer. But Mia, you have to understand. In my world, there are only two types of people, those under protection and those who are vulnerable. I couldn't leave you vulnerable. So you claimed me like I'm your possession. No. He kneels in front of me, takes my hands. I claimed you because you're mine, because I'm falling in love with you, because the thought of Victor or anyone else using you against me makes me want to burn the city down. My breath catches. You can't love me. We barely know each other. I know you saved my mother when no one else would. I know you read to her every afternoon even though it's not in your job description. I know you cry during sad movies and laugh at terrible jokes. I know you're brave and stubborn and too good for someone like me. His grip tightens. But I'm selfish enough to want you anyway. This is insane. Yes, it is. His smile is crooked, sad. But it's also real, at least for me. If you don't feel the same, if you want to leave, I'll arrange it. New identity, new city, enough money to start over. I won't force you to stay. I should take that offer. Should run as far from this dangerous man and his dangerous world as possible. But I can't. Because he's right. I am falling for him. Have been since that first car ride when he asked why I didn't give up on his mother. I don't want to leave, I whisper. Hope flares in his dark eyes. No, but I need you to promise me something. Anything. No more surprises. No more announcements without talking to me first. If we're going to do this, whatever this is, we do it as partners. Equals, not as owner and possession. Partners, Nikolai repeats. Then he smiles. Really smiles. I can do that. He leans forward, gives me time to pull back. When I don't, his lips meet mine. The kiss is gentle at first, questioning. Then, it deepens, becomes something fierce and claiming and absolutely right. When we finally break apart, we're both breathing hard. Stay with me tonight, Nikolai murmurs against my lips. Just sleep. I just want to hold you. I should say no, should maintain boundaries. But I'm tired of being alone, tired of being scared. Okay. We move to the bedroom. He helps me out of my dress with reverent hands, gives me one of his shirts to sleep in. It falls to my knees and smells like him. We lie down together. His arms wrap around me from behind, his breath warm against my neck. Thank you, he whispers, for trusting me. Don't make me regret it. Never. I fall asleep feeling safe for the first time in years. The next few weeks are the happiest of my life. Nikolai makes good on his promise. He includes me in decisions, explains the intricacies of his world, introduces me to his inner circle properly. I learn that Marco, his head of security, has 3 daughters he adores, that Dmitri, his accountant, writes poetry, that even the scariest-looking men in his organization have families, lives beyond the violence. Isabella watches us with knowing eyes and quiet satisfaction. You're good for him, she tells me one afternoon. He smiles now. Really smiles. I haven't seen that since he was a boy. He's good for me too. I know. That's why this will work. She pats my hand. Love isn't about finding someone perfect. It's about finding someone whose broken pieces fit with yours. But not everyone is happy about our relationship. Victor makes his move 6 weeks after the dinner announcement. I'm at a cafe with Isabella, her weekly outing that she insists on despite Nikolai's protests. We have 2 security guards with us. Marco assured me they're the best. Isabella is telling me a story about young Nikolai learning to swim when the first guard's phone buzzes. He frowns, steps away to take the call. The second guard's phone rings 30 seconds later. Excuse me, he says, moving to the cafe entrance. And suddenly Isabella and I are alone. That's odd, Isabella murmurs. The door chimes. 3 men walk in. I don't recognize them, but Isabella does. Her hand tightens on mine. Stay calm, she whispers. The men approach our table. The leader is young, mid-20s, cold eyes, a scar across his cheek. Mrs. Constantine, Miss Rodriguez. He smiles. Victor Sokolov sends his regards. What do you want? Isabella's voice is steady, regal. Just a conversation. Victor feels that Mr. Constantine has been unresponsive to his concerns lately. He thought perhaps the women in his life might help facilitate better communication. We have nothing to say to Victor. That's unfortunate. The man's smile disappears, because Victor has quite a bit to say, and he thinks you'll both be more comfortable having that conversation somewhere private. One of the other men moves behind us, blocking our exit. My heart pounds. Where are the guards? You're making a mistake, Isabella says quietly. My son will destroy Victor for this. Your son will negotiate, because he loves you both too much to let you be hurt. I see it then. The trap. Victor is using us to force Nikolai to the negotiating table, to make concessions, to show weakness. The man reaches for Isabella's arm. I move without thinking, grab my coffee cup, throw the hot liquid in his face. He screams, stumbles back. Run, I shout at Isabella. But we don't get far. The other men grab us. Strong hands, painful grips. That was stupid, the leader hisses, wiping coffee from his face. His skin is already reddening. Now Victor's going to be very unhappy with both of you. They start dragging us toward the back exit. I fight, kick, scream, but they're too strong. Then the cafe door explodes inward. Nikolai. He moves like violence incarnate. The first man goes down with a broken nose. The second gets his arm twisted behind his back until something cracks. The third tries to run. Marco appears, behind him, blocks the exit. It's over in less than 30 seconds. Nikolai pulls me against him. His hands run over me frantically. Are you hurt? Did they touch you? I'm fine. I'm fine. He cups my face. And I see it. Pure rage. The kind that burns cities. Get them out of here, he orders Marco. Take them to the safe house. Full security detail. No one in or out without my personal approval. Nikolai. Isabella starts. Not now, Mama. His voice breaks. Please, just let me make sure you're both safe. Then we'll talk. Marco guides us to a waiting car. I look back at the cafe. At Nikolai standing over the men who tried to take us. His expression is terrifying. He's going to kill Victor, I whisper. Yes, Marco says simply. He is. The safe house is a penthouse apartment in the heart of the city, 24th floor, bulletproof windows. Security teams stationed at every entrance. Isabella and I sit in the living room, silent, processing. I'm sorry, I finally say. This is my fault. If I hadn't been there. Stop. Isabella's voice is firm. This is Victor's fault. He's been planning a move against Nikolai for months. You were just the excuse. But now Nikolai has to protect his family, which is exactly what he'll do. She takes my hand. This is who we are, Mia. This is the life. I know it's frightening, but you need to decide right now if you can handle it. Because if you can't, you need to leave before it gets worse. I think about Nikolai's face, the way he looked at me when he arrived at the cafe, like I was his entire world. I can handle it, I say. I just don't want him to get hurt. Then pray. Because tonight, my son goes to war. Nikolai doesn't return until dawn. When he does, he's covered in blood that I know isn't his. I'm waiting in the penthouse living room. Couldn't sleep. Couldn't do anything but pace and worry. He stops when he sees me, like he's afraid of what I'll think, what I'll say. I cross to him, cup his blood-stained face. Are you hurt? No. Victor? Dead. Along with everyone who helped him plan this. His voice is flat. Empty. It's done. Good. Something flickers in his eyes. Surprise. Maybe relief. You're not horrified? I'm horrified that someone tried to kidnap your mother. That they tried to use us against you. That they made you. My voice breaks. I'm sorry you had to do that. I'm not. He pulls me against him. I'd do it again, 1,000 times, to keep you safe. We stand there as the sun rises over the city, as security makes their rounds, as the world wakes up to news that Viktor Sokolov and 6 of his men were found dead in a warehouse. I need to tell you something, Nikolai says quietly. Something I should have said weeks ago. Okay. I love you, Mia Rodriguez. I'm completely, impossibly in love with you. And I know it's too fast. I know we barely know each other, but I also know I want to spend the rest of my life with you. If you'll have me. My heart stops. Nikolai, I'm not asking you to marry me. Not yet. But I am asking you to choose this. To choose us. To choose this complicated, dangerous, impossible life. His hands frame my face, because I can't imagine my world without you in it anymore. Tears stream down my face. I love you too. God help me. I love you too. He kisses me then, deep and claiming and full of promise. When we break apart, Isabella is standing in the doorway, smiling through her own tears. About time, she says. I was wondering when you two would figure it out. Nikolai laughs. Actually laughs. The sound is beautiful. Come on, Isabella says. I'll make breakfast. We have a lot to plan. Plan for what? I ask. The wedding, of course. She winks at my shocked expression. You don't think I'm going to let you two keep living in sin under my roof, do you? Mama. Nikolai protests. Don't mama me. You claimed her publicly. Now make it official, before some other ambitious fool gets ideas. She sweeps out of the room, leaving us standing there. She's serious, Nikolai says. Are you? He looks at me. Really looks. I would marry you tomorrow if you'd say yes. That's insane. Probably. But I've never been more sure of anything in my life. He takes my hand. Marry me, Mia. Let me spend the rest of my life proving that you made the right choice, that we can make this work. I should say it's too fast. Should be practical, cautious. But I'm tired of being careful. Tired of being afraid. Yes, I whisper. Yes, I'll marry you. His smile could light the entire city. Thank you, he breathes. Thank you for saving my mother, for saving me, for being brave enough to love someone like me. Thank you for making me feel safe, for giving me a home, for seeing me. We kiss again, softer this time, full of hope and promise. In the kitchen, Isabella is already on the phone, planning, organizing, making sure the world knows that the Constantine family is about to gain a new member. And I realize something important. I came into this world by accident, saved an old woman because it was the right thing to do, expected nothing in return. Instead, I found everything I'd been missing: a family, a home, a love so fierce it terrifies and exhilarates me in equal measure. The nurse and the mob boss, an impossible love story, but it's ours, and I wouldn't change a single thing. 3 months later, I walk down an aisle covered in white roses. Isabella cries in the front row. Marco stands as best man, and Nikolai waits at the altar in a tuxedo that makes him look like sin personified. When he lifts my veil, his eyes are wet. You came, he whispers. Always. I promise. I'll always come back to you. We say our vows in front of 200 guests. We seal them with a kiss that makes people cheer. And when Nikolai carries me over the threshold of our new home, the guest house transformed into something permanent, I know I'm exactly where I belong. In his arms, in his world, in his heart, forever. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you loved this story, check out the other videos on your screen now. I think you'll really enjoy them. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. See you in the next story.